Well, hello, entrepreneurs. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the things in your business like we do as entrepreneurs and just heading towards burnout, then this conversation is for you. Because this week I was joined by Sybil Hall, who is the author of a book, Burn Bright, Not Out. And she's founder of the INCOME Without Burnout Skool community, where she helps entrepreneurs build multiple income streams in a calm, intentional way without sacrificing their well-being. Now, I'm Gail Bates, and welcome to my Entrepreneurs Who Work From Home series. This is where I sit down with entrepreneurs from around the world just to talk about what it really takes to build a sustainable business from home. You know, there's no hype. We talk about real routines, real decisions, and what actually moves the needle in running a business from home. So I'd love you to take a minute to hit the subscribe button and press the bell so you don't miss any of these insightful interviews, because you learn how other entrepreneurs are handling life and business themselves while working from home just like you. Now, Sybil is someone I personally have learned a lot from. She's incredibly structured, but not in a rigid way, kind of in a way that's actually creates more freedom. So in our conversation, we really get into some things, and I want to share them with you today. The one system that she uses, and it's called the 12-week year, which is taken from the book, The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran. And she uses this system to help you stay focused and actually follow through on achieving your goal. You'll also learn how she builds her business around her life and family and not the other way around. The part I love, I think you're going to love, is how she's creating journals and products through Amazon KDP and Amazon FBA, including what you need to know if you want to get started. We also talk about something really exciting, how she's beginning a new venture to build with AI using anthropic Claude, and she's creating what she calls AI employees inside her business. Pretty amazing. And she's inviting her school community to build alongside her. So you really want to check out that school community. You know, this is just one of those conversations where you're going to walk away with practical ideas and also a different way of thinking about how you run your business. So let's get into it. Hey, Sybil, welcome. Welcome to my series on entrepreneurs who work from home. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so excited to be here too. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you to share with us today lots of information about you and your business. So I love to start off and ask the question about your day. You know, what does a typical day look like for Sybil?
Oh my gosh. That's like my favorite question in the world. I love to think about how I structure and what I use for my process of the day. So, I am a highly structured person because I basically burnt out a couple times in the past, right? Like many of us have. And what I learned is that if I have a system in place and I'm intentional about it, then I won't burn out. And so what I do is I have a morning routine, which really serves me very, very well. And I can talk a little bit about that. I also have a planning routine. So I plan my workday. As entrepreneurs, we have the liberty and freedom to do that. And it's a blessing. And it can be really hard on us because we don't realize how much structure we need. So I was an educator for 23 years, a teacher and an instructional coach. And every single day, the whiteboard would be filled with our schedule for the day, right? You have to do that for a group of people. And we followed our schedule. So that's very ingrained in me. So I actually use a whiteboard today. I have it back here in my office.
Yeah.
Or I use my own product, which is called the Get Your Shit Done Without Burning Out Daily Notepad Planner.
Yeah.
And so this is just a notepad. So each day I get to do one of these pages. You can see that one's blank. So I did my whiteboard today. It's kind of what I want to do. But really, this happens after my morning routine. But I try to do it in the physical space. So you notice my examples are a whiteboard and a paper. I do use like Google Calendars to schedule my days as well. But those are primarily my calls, things that have to be at a set time. And then other than that, I'll do time blocking either on paper or sometimes on my Google Calendar. But that's really how I structure like Monday to Friday. And I find that what I do is this actually has my self-care integrated into it. Okay,
Great.
so right now
Yeah.
I'm standing on my treadmill. I'm just standing on it, but I'll make sure I mark where in my schedule I'll be walking on the treadmill. I mark breaks. So I have a banana break every morning, where I eat my banana and I try to do that outside. So I schedule that no matter if it's on that pad or on my whiteboard intentionally.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know if you are like me, but I would just work through it all. And like, I won't even eat lunch sometimes. I'm not a stress eater. I actually don't eat when I'm stressed. So I actually have to put lunch in my schedule.
Um,
But I've just found so much success for it and so much higher levels of productivity and so much more joy in each day
right.
as
Right.
well.
How do you fit all of that in around your family and your life?
Yeah, so it's a lot. But it actually helps me do it because when you're intentional about how you use time, we all have 24 hours a day. But when we're thoughtful about how we use time, and we can look at time from the perspective of I create time, I know exactly like when I'm with my teenage son, he's a senior in high school. So I have like 4 months with him in the house still. So I know from 7 o'clock to about 8 o'clock, some every other day a little earlier, I'm with him. I'm making him, I love to make my senior in high school breakfast. It's like we went backwards, like, you're leaving the house. I'm making
Yeah.
him breakfast. We chill at the breakfast table together, and that's like our special time. And
Right.
so I know that. And so I can build my business and my morning routine around that, right?
Right.
So one thing I do is I wake up an hour earlier than
Yeah.
I would typically. And that started really when I was writing my book.
Yeah.
So this is a best-selling book called Burn
Yeah.
Bright Not Out, 35 Lessons that Cultivate Teacher Well-Being.
Yes.
And when I was decided to write a book, where am I going to find this time? I've got 2 kids. I'm a teacher. And what I did is I woke up an hour earlier, and that was the start of my morning routine. And I spent a full hour being creative, writing words, doodling, whatever it was, but I had to be around that book, which I didn't even know what the book was at the time, right? But that's what I
Yeah.
was doing. And then I got really bad sciatica, and I couldn't sleep. So sciatica in my leg all the way up to my lower back. Couldn't sleep very well. And anyway, it led to me putting some yoga practice into my mornings.
Right. Right.
And so from there, my morning routine slowly kind of built, and that was really like 2020-ish.
Mhm.
And today I have a pretty routine morning routine.
I love that. I love that. For other entrepreneurs, just 1 hour. If you can
Yep.
find one extra hour, whether it's early in the morning or if you're a night person, it's late at night, or somewhere in the day that is just for you,
Yep.
that can really solidify how you're going to set up the rest of your day and be productive and work around all of the nuances of, being an entrepreneur, working from home, right? So
Yeah,
that's
it
great.
changes everything, honestly,
Yeah, just
because
one
it's
hour.
on my terms for me. It's
Yeah,
for me. And then I go off and do things for
yeah,
everyone else.
exactly. Yeah. And look, and I'm looking at your office. My gosh, it looks so cool. It looks
Oh,
like a
thank
dream
you.
office. Tell us more about how you set that up.
You can see there's my whiteboard back there and some journal inventory. I've got whiteboards on both sides of the room. So again, it's my teacher and me. I really need to be in the physical space.
Yeah,
So aesthetics, I need to feel comfortable. This is my home office.
right.
Um, and so I basically have it set up where I have a desk with my standing, so I can also stand and walk, and then I can sit down with a screen. And then what you just saw there, I have a little bit of inventory. I sell some of my books and journals and planners at holiday markets. I just went to a wellness market locally recently. It's
Yeah,
amazing because I'm pretty much mostly sell my products online. But when you
Right.
go sell them in person, you get to talk to people and you get to hear how they talk about your product or book and what they're so impressed with the paper quality on
Yeah.
my journals. But
Yeah.
like that's really hard to tell somebody online what your paper quality. I have
Yeah. Yeah.
thicker
That's really,
cream paper.
yeah.
It's not print on demand. And so when you get to experience your product with customers in person,
Right.
it's a game changer. I'm
Yeah.
really into this hybrid online. I'm a techie and the physical environment, as you can tell.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, I love that you've got all these systems. You blend them, within your day, within your week. Can you share one or two systems that have really helped you stay consistent while managing all your multiple streams of income?
Yes, yes, because it's true. I have a good six major streams of income because I'm into investments
Yeah.
and real estate as well, as online businesses and books and journals and a school
Mhm.
community too. So the one system I'm going to share with you right now is the 12-week year,
Yeah.
which is a system where the concept is basically that we think we can accomplish X amount in 12 months, but 12 months is just way too long of a time. We get lost, we can't stay focused. Nobody can really concentrate for that long. So the concept is we can actually get more done in 12 weeks than
Yeah.
most people can get done in 12 months. And
Right.
so setting 1 to 3 business goals and or personal goals and then tracking, this is the game changer in the system, is you're tracking your execution of the system. So you're
Right.
not tracking your outcome. Of course,
Yeah.
you're tracking that too at the
Right.
end, but each week we check our execution. And did I do 100% of the things I said I was going to do today? Or did I only do 50% of the things I said I was going to do today? What am I going to change next week since I only did 50% this week?
Right.
And then the third component to it is what we call a WAM, a weekly accountability meeting. And it's a
Yeah.
90-second check-in each
Hmm.
at the end of each week or the beginning of next week. On Mondays, we do it in my school community.
Right.
And we check in and we say, I did 80% of my tactics last week, which means I performed, I did the action to work on the business. And next week, I'm committing to X. So it's
Right.
a really quick check in, but that's a vital part of it because it's making us every single week reflect back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we can
No, and
revise
I
and change going forward.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're a woman after my own heart. I love the whole thing. 90-day goals to me are so doable and so much can be accomplished in 90 days. And knowing your school program, and what's the name of your school group again?
Yeah, so my school is called Income Without Burnout.
Right?
And
Okay.
we are going through a cycle right now. We're in week 5, well, finishing. It's a
Right.
Friday right now when we're recording.
Yeah.
We're going through it together because we hold each other accountable in that way, right? If we show up
Yeah.
weekly and
Yeah.
saying, I did this last week, and it's just being out there and we can cheer each other on, so much more likely we'll all get to our goals as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I know it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And I think for entrepreneurs who really are in the business of achieving their goals and wanting to achieve their goals, this is such a great way to stay on top of things, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Yep.
based on the book, the 12-week year.
Yeah, that's based on the book, The 12-Week Year. I think I have it back
Yeah.
behind me somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I love
By Brian Moran.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I want to change this up a little. I want to talk a little bit about collaborations and communications. What kind of partnerships or networking is part of your strategy to grow your business?
Yeah. So if we talk about my school business, the group I just shared with you, which is a free group, by the way, it does have some tiers if you want more levels of support.
Yeah,
But that one, my collaborations are really within the school network. It's amazing how many other school owners you have things in common with and or some audiences as, and so you can really work together and both benefit both of your groups. So I'm really enjoying those kinds of collaborations. I've also collaborated around my products and speaking gigs with
Yeah.
like a foundation here in the US recently, a literacy foundation. Um, and that partnership led to 200 journals purchased,
Oh my
as
God.
well as a speaking gig where I got to talk to them and they all had the journal in their hand. So that staff development, basically, that's staff development, really was powerful for all
Yeah.
of those
Yeah.
participants.
And
Um,
what
so
do you
I'm
speak about? What's the topic of your speech when you're connecting with those?
Yeah, that one was around. This is the journal. It's called Illuminate that the foundation owner sent to each of her members, and it is around mindfulness, self-compassion, and intentional living. And
Wow.
so that's what that workshop was around. So
Right.
basically, I wrote my book because I was burning out. I was a teacher and I was burning out and I wanted to do something different. This was my gateway into entrepreneurship. I was like, I don't know if I'm even a good writer, but I've got to like share this story and get it out there and see what happens.
Right.
I'm definitely a risk taker in that way. So anyway, it turned into my brand. So I've now trademarked Burn Bright Not Out.
Good. Good.
And so basically, everything I share in here and lessons have turned into journals and courses and things that I share and teach others now
Right.
from my own journey of
Right.
wellness, basically, but also this idea of structuring and processes, how I'm living my daily life. So the school community is really a build with me situation
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
say, hey guys, I'm doing this right now. Jump on. Who wants to do it with me? Right.
Yeah.
And that's because I am the sum of everyone I surround myself with. We as
Hmm.
entrepreneurs have to surround ourselves with people that are right about doing the same things as us.
Right.
But we also have to surround ourselves with some people that are ahead of us,
Yeah.
but not the people that are crazy ahead of us. We can take their courses, participate, but we want to make sure there's a couple people just
Yeah.
ahead of us, right?
Yes.
And so that's the basis of the community. It's like, let's just all work together. The
Yeah.
free community is
Yeah.
completely open in that way
Yeah.
because entrepreneurship's hard and it's lonely
Yeah.
otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
collaboration and networking. And do you
Yep.
do any networking groups?
You know what? It's funny. I was just at a market recently, and the gal next to me was so nice. And she's like, you got to join this and this network group. She knew all these people because they're all in the same in-person network group. And I was like, I do that similar thing online. And so
Right.
I am I am in a couple collaboration groups where on school where we, commit to working with a small group of people and we
Right.
all support each other in different ways.
Right.
And so definitely in that way I collaborate as
Yeah.
well. And that's a networking group. It's
It's
just
kind of
an
like a
online and different version of it, right?
yeah. It's kind of like a mastermind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just
a
yeah.
mastermind, which is what the same thing. Yeah.
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 And I mean, that's great. I mean, I think as entrepreneurs, that's what we need to look for. Uh,
Mhm.
some of us cannot, I live on an island in Hawaii, and there's not a lot of networking groups to actually attend because I live in
Yeah,
a tiny town, But the online world, finding people that are similar to you really helps. So I'm
for
thrilled
sure.
you shared that with us because I think it's so important for some entrepreneurs who think, well, I live way away from people, but there is a way to collaborate if you really want to, right? And find the people. Yeah.
And hire each other to be your coaches. I am a firm believer. Every coach has to have a coach, whether you call
Yeah.
yourself a coach or not, an educator, a leader, whatever you resonate with.
Yeah.
You still need a coach. Like I
Yeah.
had a book coach, I had a journal coach. I
Yes.
now, I learned Amazon ads, but now I'm upgrading, right? I'm trying to figure out advanced levels. So I
Yeah.
hired an Amazon ads coach,
Yeah.
right? We've got to be lifelong learners. and we've
Yeah.
got to work together. And then we got to also take that chance and spend a little money and hire that coach, because the acceleration that happens
Yes.
is
Yeah.
huge.
Yes. It is. It is. It is. It is huge. I love it that you shared all of that about collaboration. That's really, really important. So, talk to me now a little bit about self-care. How does that work for you? How do you take care of you? Are there any
Yeah.
specifics?
Yeah. So specifically, a lot of it is in my morning routine. And then blocking out those breaks. I also go on a walk every single day outside,
Yeah.
even in the cold. Sometimes I can't, but um, I get outside every day, and I would say my weakness is my closure routine, my like ending the day.
Oh,
But
wow.
I
I want
think
to hear
that's
this.
only weak because I've found I do my walk in the afternoon, and that's when I reset and recover.
Yeah.
And what that helps me do is show up for my family. It
Mhm.
used to be doing homework with the kids or whatever. Now that they're one's out of the house and one's older, it's still, I want to make sure I am me, mom Sybil, not businesswoman Sybil, at
Mhm.
5 o'clock when my son's going to get home and we have, he'll hang out with us maybe a little bit from 5 to 6. We have dinner at 6 to 6:30. I have this window again, like I said, for his breakfast. So
Right.
really planning around that. And then I also note on my notepad each morning something about relationships, because we need to be intentional about our relationships every day. So sometimes I'll remind myself to stop what I'm doing when my husband gets home and meet him at the door.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
enormous self-care, because that moment of that greetings are so,
Yeah.
so important, coming
Yeah.
and going. That moment of greeting makes me, I stopped. I'm happy he's home. I get to give a hug, kiss. The dog jumps up on the bed, right? It's just like a little 5 minute of yumminess, for example. So I'll try to do that too, kind of plan when how am I going to make breakfast special? How am I going to meet him at the door? What am I going to do in my relationship? So I'm going to text a gratitude to a friend today.
Right. Right.
All that stuff makes me feel good inside and makes my thoughts more
Yeah.
positive, and in that
Yeah.
continually just how else can I show up for people and myself in the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. I think it's so important for entrepreneurs. I hope they're listening to that. Just a
Mhm.
hug or
Yeah.
just talking to a friend, taking that time to continue the friendship and get together for coffee or whatever it is. Those are
Mhm.
so important in the life of an entrepreneur who works at home, especially because you
Yes.
want cut yourself off from the rest of the world. You have to make sure that's happening in your life and schedule, like you, I'm sure, scheduling it into
Yeah.
your daily and weekly schedule as well.
And doing it in the physical world. I love my online people. I can't believe how many amazing friends I have now
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
but I still need to be interacting with people in the physical world
Yeah.
outside of my house.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
me, it takes that writing it down to remember, invite these people over this weekend,
Exactly.
because otherwise it's just,
Exactly.
oh my God, it's Friday. And right, you're just in overwhelm. And I don't feel that way anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I think that's so important as well. So thank you for reminding us about
you're
that.
welcome. Yeah.
Okay, so, as entrepreneurs, and I know you're probably big at this, we are always wanting to be learning. We call it professional development. How do you continue to grow as an entrepreneur, whether through courses or do you have books that you recommend or podcasts? How does that work for you?
Yeah. I have the opposite problem, and some people probably relate to this. I want to learn too much. So I have to also slow down and say, you're allowed to learn this much and about this thing, and then you can implement, and then you can learn some more. But
I'm there too.
so basically, I really, with that said, I really do most of my learning these days. Like if I think about the last 3 months, um, with those people that I have found that are aligned to me, and teaching where I want to go next.
Right. Hmm.
Right. So there's this dance of staying far enough relevant, ahead, like dreaming out what's going to happen after that next step, but that's
Right.
something I can't do yet. But
Hmm.
here I can do this yet. So I actually intentionally plan my learning, and it's just more in my head than written down, but I do a lot of thinking about what am I going to let myself learn. And I do
Hmm.
it through learning lunches. Sometimes I allow myself to watch a YouTube video if I want to
Right.
learn more about Claude. I'll turn on a
Right.
YouTube video about Claude while I'm eating lunch. I don't let
Right.
myself
Right.
do that all the time, but things like that. So anyway, I kind of keep those two buckets in mind. What's further out that I'm going to make sure I'm probably going to need to want to learn? And then what am I doing right now? For example, Pinterest is a platform I'm going all in on right now
Right.
because of a couple reasons, including its longevity. And so I have to keep my learning hat on around Pinterest too. And how am I doing that? I've joined the Pinterest school and joined his premium
Right.
tier, and it's phenomenal. I'm
Right.
learning a lot, and I'm implementing every day. And because that's a part of my 12-week year,
Yeah.
that's my short-term learning that I'm allowed to
Right.
do and implement. But
Yeah.
I'm also dreaming out here, like, what else do I need to learn big term, longer term?
And do you have any books or anything that you'd recommend for other entrepreneurs?
You know what? The Big Leap by
Yes.
Gay Hendricks.
Yes.
I need to actually read it again for my
I
second
just
or third
got
time.
there's a new book, a workbook out on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
get that.
in my mastermind, we're actually working on that
Okay.
as well.
I
So
love
yeah, that's a great book. Yeah,
so good.
love
So
that.
good. And
Yeah.
one I just have here too. I don't know if you've read Believe It by Jamie Kern Lima.
No,
So
haven't
this one has a special place in my heart. I'm rereading it now. Because I read this with a group of fantastic entrepreneurs who were making journals with me a
yeah,
year and a half ago. And it's basically her journey with her own products, which were makeup and face skincare and such, and how she failed and failed and failed. And it's just so warm to feel like the people online are doing it with me, but
right.
also somebody else has been done that, and she really made it big. And she
Yeah,
just had to find her method of making it big. But what was really cool is I got a Kiva business loan. So I don't know if all our listeners are familiar with Kiva, but Kiva is an organization that you can crowdsource 0% business loans through.
I've heard of
And
it.
I have I've been a donor to other entrepreneurs in other countries for years. It's just something I did. All of a sudden I learned that you can do this as a US entrepreneur. You can be the borrower. And a
Right.
0% interest loan is a gorgeous thing for entrepreneurs because we need cash flow.
Yes,
Everything costs somewhat of money. So
yes,
that gives you cash up front, and then you make monthly payments to pay it
yes.
back. So the reason I mention that is because her organization, there's a lot of businesses like Jamie Kern Lima's. Her business is called IT. I forget what it stands for, but they were one of the matchers. So they matched every donation I got for my loan. They matched it. So if somebody gave me $25, her business gave me $25 towards my loan.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so it was meant to be. It was like I read the book, I was reading the book, and then her business was, matching my loan. And now I'm applying for my second Kiva loan because once you pay off your loan, you can qualify for double the amount of money for a second loan. And so entrepreneurs do this over and over and over, and it helps us scale our businesses.
I love it. It is it's just so much value in what you shared there is fantastic. So I hope those who are watching really take heart and learn that this is a possibility.
Yeah, and ask me any questions. Come into my school community and put them there. I am an open book. I want to help you
Right.
grow your business. Like
Yeah.
literally, that is my mission.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
it. So really quickly, I don't know if you can share with me how you use AI in your business.
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I was a tech and innovation coach for 2 years in Dubai at the American School of Dubai. So I
Yeah.
am very much a techie. I'm an Apple Distinguished Educator as well. So I'm always on the front end of tech, which is right now AI. Um, it's funny you mentioned this because I'm actually just about to launch my next venture, and it's going to have to do with AI and a build with me. Um, for the last 2, 3 years, how long has it been out now? I actually edited this book January of 2023. It had just come out a month earlier
Yeah.
with ChatGPT. So I
Wow.
need to go back and redo it because you can imagine what some of the AI probably looks like in that book. Um,
Oh,
but I actually did that the first month ChatGPT was out. So I've really been using the Pro plan of Chat. I also use Notebook LM because you can give it your own sources. It's one of Google's free tools.
okay.
And you can give it your own sources, so it has a lot less hallucinations. But now I'm starting an experiment, and I'm going to take all entrepreneurs who want to join me in this experiment over to Claude.
Yeah.
And the reason I am making there's lots of reasons I'm making that shift, but the number one reason I'm making that shift is because Claude has the capability to run agents, meaning I can get employees for my business. So I
Oh,
can set it up to start, it's called Claude Co-worker, and I can set that up to start being my marketing team and my financial team. And I will basically be building employees. And I'm going to keep using it for all my content and et cetera that I've been doing with ChatGPT.
mind
So
blowing. It's
yeah,
mind blowing.
it's mind blowing.
It's exciting.
It is. It's a great place. And here's the thing is we're just all in it together. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
literally showcase what you're doing. Bring people on your journey. It is what's happening on YouTube right now. What do we
Yeah.
watch on YouTube? I
Yeah.
watch people build tiny homes. I
Yeah.
watch, right? They're all doing it and they're taking you on their journey. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I'm up to 500 monthly revenue on school in just 4 months
Wow.
doing that exact strategy. So just
Right.
taking people along on the ride. I'm not gatekeeping anything. I
Right.
have lots of value for free. But if
Yeah.
you want closer access to me, you
Right.
want one-on-one coaching calls, you want, my spreadsheets, that's where I
Right.
start charging. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful model because people get to know you.
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
they say, oh my God, I want to work with you.
I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I want to work with you. Just, just say.
Love it.
Oh, no. So, okay. So, gosh, where am I at? I'm at with this. So you've given us so much great information with
Oh, good.
now talk to us a little bit about, I'm just venturing into KDP myself, but talk to us a little bit about what you do with KDP as well.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about. So Amazon KDP
Right.
is the print on demand service that
Right.
Amazon has for
Right.
books. You
Yeah.
can do high content books, right? Like mine. You can do
Yeah.
medium content books and you can do low content books.
Right.
You can print in paperback, hardback, and ebook,
Right.
Kindle, right? All within KDP. And so I also participate in Amazon FBA, which
Yeah.
is where I have a manufactured product. So this is a
Right.
manufactured product shipped to Amazon. So I have inventory and
Right.
then I sell it through Amazon. So both
Right.
of these products will show up on Amazon right next to each other, for example, if you typed in
Right.
and brighten that out. But there are different ways to do Amazon. So
Yeah.
what I love about KDP, Amazon KDP, is that it's free to
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Where else can you list anything on the internet to sell for free?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Right? So you can test. What I've learned in all of this is you have to test. You have to
Yes.
do your research. You have
Yes.
to test.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to put work in to
Right.
see if you hit one that's going to work and watch keywords, it
Yes.
can become more passive later.
Yeah.
But what I want to be really clear about is it's not passive in the beginning.
Right.
You can't just post this book and everyone's going to buy
Right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, what else should we talk about with KDP?
Well, no, I think you've explained it very well.
Okay.
I think we could go into a lot of depth about it, but at this point, I think I just want to give people a flavor of how you do it and what you do. And I think you've
Yes.
explained that beautifully. So if there was one piece of advice that you would, or a key lesson or something you'd like to share with fellow entrepreneurs working from home, what would it be?
Yeah, what I say is keep going,
Mm-hmm.
but find people to do it with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we often want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we make the intentional decision to quit, and that's different
Mm-hmm.
than this stressful wanting to quit.
Yeah.
Right? So we
Yeah.
might quit something in the future, and that's okay. We got to give ourselves permission to
Mm-hmm.
let go of what you did in the past. It helped you build to here, but you
Mm-hmm.
got to keep going in some way, and you got to find people to do that with because it's
Mm-hmm.
so much easier when we're cheering each other on and saying, "Hey, I had this fail, and here's what I'm doing because of it, or here's what I learned because of it." So, fail forward is another good one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that advice, and I think it's so true for all entrepreneurs. So now let's talk a bit about to share with your viewers more about your business, who you serve. You know, you've given us a lot of input right already, but where people can actually connect with you, and we will be putting all of that. The links and everything in the description below. But share with us a little bit more about how people can connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best place is Income Without Burnout on Skool, and we'll have that link down below.
Right.
It's a completely free group. You can join it. You can ask all your questions.
Yeah.
You could also find my Amazon store at the
Yeah.
links below. So you could
Right.
get any of my products that you might be interested in. Each
Right.
product has a QR code that
Right.
gives you a GPT, so your custom chat GPT to go with the product.
Oh, how does
So
that work?
say it again.
How does that work? Tell me
How
about
does
that.
that work?
Yeah.
So, for example, this Get Your
Yeah.
Shit Done coach.
Yeah.
When you buy this product, you get to scan this QR code, and it takes you into ChatGPT, whether you have a free one or a paid one.
Yeah.
And it guides you. It has 3 or 4 choices. Do you want a moment to pause now? Do you need help planning your day? Has 3 or 4 choices, and then you just start a conversation with AI. The
Mhm.
most important thing is to pin your, if you do this, pin your GPT so it's there the next time you go back to it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So they know who you are. I'm so excited. I think you've got so many great, what I call gems of wisdom for other entrepreneurs. And I love your school group too. I think for people, if they really want to learn more from you on just keeping on track with their goals and learn more about KDP and not burning out, which is what
Yep.
it's all about, right? And all of things. It's just been lovely to chat with you, Sybil. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. It's been a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Gail.
Don't you agree? This was such a powerful conversation with Sybil. There are so many gems of wisdom in our talk, but the 3 I'm personally taking away are: number 1, the idea of creating just 1 hour for yourself each morning. You know, Sybil started this during a busy season of life, and it really became the foundation for everything. I just think it's so simple, but it's really so powerful. So my question to you is, if you were to add 1 hour to your day, what would that 1 hour look like for you? Now, my second gem was her intentional structure. She's just not working more, but being more intentional about planning her breaks, planning relationships, even planning presents with the family. I loved how she greets her husband at the door. That kind of shifted how I'm thinking about productivity myself. And the third gem was her approach to building your business. whether it's through Amazon KDP or Amazon FBA, but she's focused on multiple income streams. And you learn that with her description of how she uses funding options like KIVA to really grow her business. She's not guessing. She's testing, learning, and building step by step. It's quite amazing. And if you're curious about what she's doing with AI using Anthropic Claude, definitely check out her Income Without Burnout School community in the description below. She's building in real time and inviting others along for the journey. And that means you, if you're ready for that. So if this conversation really helped you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another entrepreneur who's building something from home just like you. And I'll see you on the next episode.